Improvement pill here. So recently I made some simple changes to my daily routine, which allowed me to get significantly more done than I did before. I went from creating just 3 to 4 videos a month to doing more than 8. So in a sense, I was able to double my productivity, and I was able to do this by implementing 5 simple, proven tricks for getting more done. Our first trick is all about finding an exclusive location for your work. So the thing is, I am currently renting out a studio apartment in Ho Chi Minh of Vietnam, and it's nice and all, but I found that I would constantly get distracted trying to work at the table in this room. And that's because I do all sorts of things in this particular location. The seat and table that I try to work at is the same seat and table where I would play video games on my computer. It's the same seat and table where I would eat lunch and dinner. And it's the same seat and table where I would watch Netflix with my girlfriend. And the thing is, when you're in a location where you've done so many other things, your brain will associate this location with all those things. It will have unconsciously built several habits tied to this place. So whenever you're there, you're going to be constantly reminded to start those habits, most of which are things that are much more enjoyable and pleasurable than your work. And because of this, it becomes extremely easy to get distracted, as your brain is constantly telling you, hey, let's do this fun thing instead. Which is why it's extremely powerful to have a completely new location exclusive to your work. And ideally, you want to select a location where you haven't made any other pre-existing connections. A location where you can start a brand new slate. I was able to implement this trick by moving my work location to a local cafe not too far from my apartment. It's like a 2-minute walk. And on the first day I got there, I immediately sat down and I started writing, because I wanted my brain to associate this new environment with one thing and one thing only, which is my work. It's also very important to note that you want to select a location that's easy to get to so that you will have less excuses to start. Which brings us to the second trick I used to double my productivity, which is don't give yourself time to think. Now you might be thinking, wait, what? Don't think? How could that be beneficial? Well, prior to making these changes, I would often have thoughts like this when I woke up. Oh, wow, I need to start working on those 2 new scripts today, and I need to revise and finalize that other one. Oh, I need to send out those emails, and I got 3 coaching calls as well. Oh my God, that's so much work. I think I'll just watch some YouTube first. And whenever this happens, I would end up playing around on my phone for hours before finally getting out of bed. And overall, I would get very little to nothing done for the day. And you can prevent this from happening by giving yourself less time to think. Nowadays, the only thing that's on my mind when I wake up is, okay, time to get dressed and visit the cafe across the street. And the reason I do this is because procrastination is an emotional problem, and negative emotions occur when we think, right? The more you think about how much you have to do, the worse you start to feel, which means that you're less likely to actually go and do it. It's sort of like back in the day when I used to talk to random girls on the street as a way to improve my social skills and to step outside of my comfort zone. I noticed that my levels of fear and anxiety were significantly higher when I saw a girl that I wanted to talk to and I thought about what I should do first. That's right, the longer I thought about talking to her, the less of a chance I would actually go and do it. Because when you think, you let your anxiety build up. You think to yourself, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? What if I get rejected? What if she totally ignores me? All of these hypothetical scenarios run in your head and cause you to feel as if you have failed, even though you haven't even started. That's why we procrastinate. And you can prevent this from happening by taking quick action. Like I mentioned before, all I think about when I wake up is, okay, I need to get dressed and visit the cafe. That's it. And by doing this, I can trick myself to take quick action so that I'll go to my exclusive location so that my habit of working there can kick in. And this actually brings us to my third tip, which is to remove distractions before they can come up. When I decided to go to this cafe for the first time, I chose not to get the Wi-Fi password. That's right. To this day, my laptop still has no internet access here. I literally can't do anything on my laptop other than write. See, the thing is, even if you use my advice from trick number 1 and you go to a new location, there are still things that you might bring with you that are associated with past distractions. And personally, for me, It's when I have my computer and when I have Wi-Fi, because this setup is what I usually use to play video games and to browse the internet. When I remove the Wi-Fi, the urge to mess around online disappears, as one of the requirements for being able to do so is the Wi-Fi itself. Which is why whenever I come to this cafe, I only bring 4 things. I bring my keys so I can go home. I bring my bullet journal, which serves as a reminder for all the things I need to get done. I bring my laptop for the work itself, and I bring my phone for calls. Now you might be thinking, wait. You just said you turn off the Wi-Fi so you don't get distracted. Then doesn't bringing your phone defeat that purpose? Hang tight. I'll get into why I do this in a second. In the meantime, let's move on to my 4th trick, which is to allow yourself to win easily. See, oftentimes when we tell ourselves that we need to get a lot done, we will set this bar way too high. You need to lower your standards for your definition of success for the day. For example, I never tell myself, okay, I need to draft and finalize a script in the same day. In fact, as I'm writing this script right now, I'm just quickly letting all of my ideas out. I'm not double checking my grammar. I'm not worrying about spelling errors. And I'm not even checking to see if everything makes sense. All I'm doing is getting all of my ideas on paper. That's my only requirement today for success in regards to this project. That's all I have to do. If I want to clean up the script, sure, I can do that for bonus points. But in reality, I don't need to do that until tomorrow. And the reason I do this is because it makes it significantly easier for me to feel good about myself. It makes me more confident in my ability to get things done, that I can reach my goals. I feel proud of myself, even though I'm just drafting a script. See, the thing you have to understand about productivity is that it's mostly a mental battle. If you believe something is too hard, if you believe that you're not mentally strong enough to easily complete a task, then you will naturally come up with excuses to avoid even trying. Which is why you got to allow yourself to win easier. Lower your bar for success, because then you can hit it more often, which will make you believe that you are someone who can successfully get things done. And because of this, it will make the entire process more enjoyable. And now finally, my final trick for doubling one's productivity is to reward yourself often. One of the most important things that you have to understand is that every good behavior that you want to reinforce needs to be reinforced with some type of reward. It's like when you train a dog. You got to give him a treat after he does a trick. If you do not reward yourself, your brain will have no incentive to remember this behavior, and it will never become a habit. Now, it's best to reward yourself with things that you naturally like, but you should also make sure that they are things that you aren't addicted to. For example, every time I complete a major task, such as drafting a script or revising a script or even finishing a call, I'll open up my phone and play a mobile game for like 5 to 10 minutes. Or sometimes I'll use social media. I might respond to some messages, look at some memes on Reddit. You get the point. And this is why I bring my phone with me to the cafe when I work. Yes, it's important to try and remove as many distractions as possible when I come here, but I still need some way to reward myself. Turning the Wi-Fi on for my computer is too distracting, as I'm constantly using it while I type, but I can simply turn off my phone or hide it under my journal while I work, which puts it out of my sight. And when it's time for me to reward myself, I'll turn it back on. Now, you want to make sure that your rewards are short and sweet so that it's enjoyable, but doesn't take up too much of your time. That way you can go back to work and complete your next task. By doing this, you will actually find yourself looking forward to going to work because there are little bits of pleasure and joy sprinkled throughout the process. And that's it. These are the 5 tricks that I use to double my productivity. Try them out and let me know if they work. This episode was brought to you with the help of the guys at Audible. I've been an avid user of Audible for many years because it allows me to learn valuable, life-changing things on the go. I've been commuting around a lot in the city via motorbike, and using Audible has allowed me to finish about a book per week. You are now able to download all of the Audible monthly originals for free, along with 1 free audiobook of your choice. Members will also gain access to guided wellness programs that will help you unwind during these stressful times. On top of that, Audible has launched stories.audible.com, where you can stream hundreds of titles completely free with no strings attached. Go to www.audible.com/improvement pill or text improvement pill to 500 to get 1 free audiobook, unlimited Audible originals, and a 30-day free trial. Recently, I've just finished listening to The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth, which talks about how technology will cause massive deflation around the world and what this means for the economy. It's super interesting and a quick read, so I highly suggest you to check it out. Besides that, guys, stay tuned.